there's a set of trends that have been favorable to Infoblox as part of first the move to cloud, whether that's with SaaS applications or moving workloads into cloud providers like Amazon and Microsoft Azure and others. That's one motion that's obviously happening a lot around the world with our customers. And then the other motion is this motion of employees working from anywhere. Right? That was obviously accelerated with the pandemic. People that used to go to the offices to be productive and were within a corporate network, all of a sudden had to work from home, and that's typically a different architecture. In the traditional sort of old style networking, all of those users that were working from hotels or from home or whatever, they would always VPN directly into a corporate network. And, that's not an optimal architecture anymore. You require, a lot of VPN technology, VPN concentrators, and why backhaul a lot of traffic into a data center when that's costly and it's not optimal when you are sending a lot of that traffic out to the public cloud anyway. You're going to Office 365, you're going to Workday, you're going to Oracle Fusion, you're going to Salesforce, whatever applications you are using. So that change, happened and was accelerated by the pandemic. Infoblox has always provided these secure core network services to our customers, primarily in the core data centers, extended into the public cloud. We call that extending the grid of our Infoblox DDI services. And that includes secure DDI services, obviously, filtering on DNS being the most attacked protocol in the networking sense, made us realize that we could do a lot to help defend that vulnerability that most security vendors can't do, or only does at a very sort of peripheral type of level. That's incidentally become about 20% of our business over the last few years as we've grown that business. But we extended our solution into a cloud managed solution as well. So now you don't have to backhaul all of that traffic anymore into your corporate data centers. You can, at a laptop level or at a branch router level, decide where you want to send that traffic. And Infoblox has DNS servers wherever you are in the world, riding on cloud infrastructure. And that ensures that we sort of resolve DNS queries with the lowest latency and in the most secure way. So I think of that as giving our customers a choice. We are not the only security solution that our customers have, but we are very good at securing DNS and maintaining your DNS and keeping uptime, which is so essential and which we've become known for. And then obviously we now do that with a complete choice of deployment model for our customers. From a client perspective, when customers are, when users are sitting on their laptops, we ensure that we know what IP addresses are on the network. That is part of what a DDI solution does. We are responsible for all the DHCP leases, handing out of IP addresses. We have an IP address management application, which is what the I in IPAM stands for. Those networks are getting more and more complicated. So IPAM is becoming more and more critical as an infrastructure. Generally, cybersecurity defense teams need to know what's on the network, and what's on the network is not static. It changes all the time. And so the criticality of IPAM has become greater and greater over time. We help a lot with that. And then, as I explained, we allow you to basically do your DNS query resolution anywhere in the world on a very flexible infrastructure, either on appliances in your own data center, virtual appliances extended into the public cloud, or now also fully as a service with Blox One DDI. We sort of have used internally to sort of be the vision of where we are going as a company, right? And so if you think about networking companies, and Infoblox's roots are in networking and core DDI, core network services, And in sort of former days, those network services were delivered first and foremost on a physical appliance that companies like ours sold to customers on a CapEx model. They would buy a physical appliance with attached maintenance, and they would renew that maintenance as they used the service. As new appliances came out, they would buy those appliances 4 or 5 years later in what's known as a refresh. That was the predominant model. We always sell via a 2-tier distribution model with partners. In a modern SaaS delivered world, that's very different, right? We are a software company that's delivering a set of cloud services, much like a SaaS application, to our customers, giving them the full choice. But typically those solutions are bought by customers as subscription services, pure OpEx types of services. And to make that change to be more of a cloud managed or SaaS company, you have to change your entire business process model of a company. You now, as a modern software company, we have a large team of customer success managers. We didn't have that before. We can do that better now for our customers because in a SaaS world, we know more about what they are using. We didn't know that before because we shipped them appliances and then they would use those appliances on their networks. So the business model is very, very, very different. It's different people we are hiring, sometimes different partners we're having. And so that whole business transformation is what the destination of that transformation is what we have called Infoblox 3.0. So ultimately, the way it helps the customers is it gives them the choice of how they want to deploy these great and essential mission critical resources that we provide them with around secure DDI. It's very exciting being here in Dubai and traveling a little bit about the region. As I mentioned, I was in Saudi Arabia yesterday. Very exciting to see what's happening with the sort of opening and modernization of the Saudi Arabian market. I can't believe how much it's changed in the 7 years since I was there last. And I think the country is very committed to more digital types of services. I think once you start that almost revolution of digitizing services, and when you have a country like Saudi Arabia where the population is very young, that's like an irreversible trend. When you start down that path, you need to provide all of those services as digital services. And so that is great for the people in Saudi Arabia, for the world in general, but it's also great for technology companies like Infoblox because we can help the organizations there with that. So I think that's a big opportunity. I think Egypt is going through a very exciting modernization effort as well. Like we are a big part of the Egyptian government building a new government city, as I'm sure you know, outside of Cairo. That's very exciting to see. So I think markets like that are big growth opportunities for Infoblox. We've been very fortunate in this region. It's always been a very strong performer for us, at least in the last decade or so. I remember when I joined 7.5 years ago, I think we were like 5 or 6 people here, and now our team are approaching 50 people. So this is a very strong region. It's a great region for us. We have a very good brand name here. We have marquee customers in every one of the countries around the Gulf region and increasingly into Africa as well. And so I'm quite bullish about the opportunities here in this region. I'm kind of joking with my sales team that their quotas are going up next year because of the opportunity, but obviously so is the investment.